This is June being used as a vessel to tell Shiko's story. So I had to take a couple of days and work out how I'm really feeling about this chick. And then I had to make her my friend and love her.
Let me ask you, Shiko, the character, stood out big time. Ooh. She's the star girl, of course.
Yes.
But she also had major insecurities, isn't it? Now, you playing that role, obviously you had to, fit into that character in one way or the other. I'm just curious, especially with the whole weight thing, right? Have you had those similar insecurities out there? Like, body shaming, and how did you deal?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, of course, being a bigger girl, you would find people who just think that they could tell you anything they feel, like go to the gym, work out, eat more healthy. I'm like, your mama. Anyway, no. No. I'm very polite. I'm very diplomatic.
Yeah.
And I have had people who have judged me just for that. You know, oh my God, you're big, you're bubbly, and try and put you in a box. And I'm like, I'm way more than that. Yes, I've grown up with insecurities. I will tell you this. We had such a brilliant styling team. That we walked with. Because June's style is not Shiko's style. And I had to wear what she wore. And I had to look like she did. And there were some things.
But Shiko had a dope style.
Oh,
don't get it twisted.
Shout out to Elle. Styling by Elle and Lorato and Kibe and Zena. They're the people who, and Faith.
Shiko's dope, man.
So it's I had to, again, drop the guard. This is not about June. This is about Shiko. So if I don't like showing arms, I had to show. If I didn't like showing a lot of cleavage or thighs, I had to, because it was like, this is her style. And her insecurities may not be directly her body. It may be that battle inside the head, those voices, because with Shiko, it's a pull and a push. It's this, it's that. You can really see her beat herself down. So I do actually relate with her insecurities a lot.
Okay. Steph.
So behind the scenes, I'm sure you have like a few hiccups here and there. Is there one embarrassing feature that just stood out? You're like, oh my gosh, cut that out, please.
Was there something I wanted cut out? No, I don't think so. But I will tell you this. During the marketing shoot, and that's where you saw the billboard, we got it. I fell. A big one.
Wow.
I fell like a sack of potatoes. And I had a good conversation with the BTS guys. Like, hey, I know where you live, so. Just so you know.
Yeah. There's a guy I was watching, he's a very famous doctor. It's called Dr. Wayne. And alikuwa anasema, the stuff that you own, the stuff that you do, even the work that you do, isn't really you. I believe that, So I'm just curious, like when you go about your day-to-day life, outside of the set, for example, do you ever have like instances where now people think you're still the same character, like they don't know how to differentiate between Shiko and June, and how do you handle that, especially with all those manenos, all the, for example, the sex trending,
scenes,
whatever, all those scenes, How do you deal with that?
Again, I'm the professional here. I'm the trained one here. So when the audience, the general audience, that is the public, of course they tend to look at me as Shiko and not June, because that's where they met.
They're attached to Shiko.
I have to understand one thing. They're familiar with Shiko. You people have been watching the show. You people have a relationship with her. You've been seeing her life. So there is a type of connection and attachment. But then I'll tell you this, a lot of people call me Shiko. Now here's the funny thing. My name is June. So when I'm out somewhere in public and you're like, Shiko, I'm not lengaing you. It just doesn't resonate with me because that's not my name. I won't turn. But if you say June, I'll turn because
that's
you. That's who I am.
You're a proper professional.
And I've never gotten offended. I've never gotten bothered. If anything, I'm very happy and I celebrate it because I'm like, oh my God, you connected. You saw that girl. So I have to be the one who understands that this is the light they can see me in, because they don't know June. They don't have access to June, as such, but they have access to Shiko. They can rewind her, pause her, forward her. So guys, Shika na Showmax.
Have you had a
jump on that one? Speaking of people calling you Shiko out there, have you had like a Shiko moment? Like you're out in the grocery store, you're picking something, you're like, ooh, that came out from somewhere else.
That's not
I like that.
have I ever had a Shiko moment? Again, we have so many, and this is what I realized as I was walking the journey with Shiko. We have so many similar experiences where maybe kwanza me I've had some wardrobe malfunctions from here to Timbuktu and back to the gods and back, and you're walking around, no one is correcting, and boom, but not as far as her personal life goes. And by personal I mean her dating life. Yeah.
Have you had a crazy fun experience? Ooh. The dudes, the DMs, I'm sure. Because you're popular and you're very good looking. So I'm sure some guys out there are just like,
but
Chico.
Guys, dropping off. I was coming upstairs.
Exactly.
You know what? I actually want to go on record saying this. I am so grateful to all the people who write me privately on my DMs, whether they're trying to shoot their shot or just say something or test me. It has been so respectful.
It has.
Oh, wow.
I have not been offended. Of course, I haven't responded to messages or entertained it further, but I have never gotten someone who has abused me. I have never gotten someone who has been super duper weird or super duper scary where I'm feeling really uncomfortable. So I'm humbled at the fact that our men, whether it's Kenyan, whether it's African guys, are so respectful.
Unaturate.
No, for real.
I swear, I've never had shorties talk about them like this.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
I know,
either,
bro.
No, but you guys are winners.
For real.
Who else?
Yeah,
who
that's
else?
what's
No,
up.
please answer the question.
The great Kenyan man. sour, boss. We'll take our flowers.
Yeah, receive your
Building your
flowers.
reputation.
Guys have been so respectful. Like, of course, the men, they'll shoot their shot, but for me, what has stood out, and yes, I haven't responded because, but people have been so respectful.
That's really good.
So respectful.
Yeah.
I haven't had a crazy stalking thing. I haven't had someone be overly cross with me. I haven't.
What about like triggers? I usually ask celebs. Now I'm asking you whether you've had like a crazy experience on set, like a sex scene, a relationship scene that triggered you crazy off set, and you're like, damn, that was rough. And then you go home and you start thinking about it. You're like, okay, I mean, you feel like, you have a bit of anxiety, that kind of thing, yeah? Because you had some, wild moments in the show.
Yeah,
but did you think
very
about these things when you go back home and you're just chilling? I mean, you're like, wow. Maybe you're a bit too attached to that scene, those moments.
So I will tell you this. The beauty of working with professional people, the beauty of working with experienced actors is your process is safe, it's professional. It's a really good process. I have never had a problem with those scenes or getting triggered or feeling this was too much or too extreme or this was this and that. It was a very, very interesting professional experience.
Yeah.
And I would like to state that no, nothing crazy ever happened. Nothing that I felt, oh my God, I didn't do. No, and I'm an actor.
Yeah.
I'm a vessel.
Yeah.
So for me to switch, and I rely heavily on Meisner. So it's a technique of acting where I'm in the moment. I'm not June.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm in the moment.
Yeah.
When whatever you set up for me, the circumstance, I live it truthfully and truly for me. So
Truly.
yeah,
I like that.
It's really like it's for real, you know.
like that.
And when we're done, then
Yeah.
I switch out and
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
But during the whole process, no boundaries were crossed. Nothing wrong happened. We had such an amazing professional set. So no, I've never had a trigger.
Okay.
So in your past relationships, has there ever been a point where your ex has been like, okay, listen, like I get it's acting, but the way you kissed him, you don't kiss me like that. Like, what's going on?
Wow.
Luckily, darling, I am single, so I don't answer to anyone.
Now expect more DMs.
No, oh God!
Wow. You shouldn't have.
No. I like being honest.
Yeah.
That's not the space I'm in. Well, I'm not married. That's what I'm saying. But no, I've never. No, for me, this are not my reality.
Well, I mean, you're very easy to talk to, which is an amazing thing. I mean, the energy, the vibrations are good.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, like when you get on set and you're meeting new people, you're supposed to act with this person and this person. How easy is it for you to build chemistry with other people, especially some people who are just a bit weird and you find it a bit hard to like, gel with them?
Yeah.
Like, how do you just build that chemistry? Like, even with your crew, you guys seem like you've known each other forever, yet you might have just met.
First of all, BGSW is a family. We're not even a team or crew or what. We're a family, man.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I feel my background in counseling psychology helps.
Oh, wow.
There's nothing or no one who is so difficult for me to work with. My intuition really guides me very, very well. So I never, and even if someone is not maybe they just don't like you, or maybe they just they hate you, they just maybe even don't want the closeness or anything. At the moment when we're in the scene, our job is to make it real. So outside of that,
it doesn't really matter. But
how's your relationship with? How do you pronounce her name? Is it Koi or Makoi? Kui. Yeah.
Koi Kabala.
Offset, because you guys had some intense moments. So are you guys friends for real?
We're girls.
Okay.
We're girls. Okay. Actually, we have an upcoming project that is premiering next month in November. So we're
That's
girls.
Nice.
We're girls. There's nothing. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing personal outside of that space.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't June and Koi. It was Maureen and Shiko.
Exactly. It was Maureen and Shiko.
Yeah.
You guys, your beef was intense. Yeah. Anyway, so how did you feel hooking up with Kasim? Because it's so different. Yani. Even when I was watching this thing, I'm like, something is awful. Really? Box. Only to left down. And I was just like,
okay, who are you rooting for?
I was rooting for you, and maybe what's Fidel's set name again?
Oh God! Yeah. Oh Lord!
Joya, cut that part. I'm a Jomo. Like
Kwame
that's
or Jomo. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably your class. Kasim ulitupata off guard. Is it that he took advantage of whatever you were going through? I feel like you had you were in a situation, a bit confused. I can get up even on my lines. How did you feel about hooking up with him on set? Of course.
Okay, I really need you to be clear on that question.
Because he's like
an extreme.
Charlie White the Shang, you were very uptown-ish, and he was not so uptown. Yeah, I just thought it was off. The hookup was very off initially.
Well, when you watch the show, the origin story is episode 3. Yeah, not to give a lot away.
Yeah,
and we get to learn about Shiko. Because when you meet her family and you find out where she came from, the truth of the matter is, Shiko is Kasim. You attract what you are.
Nah, I know what you're saying, but her demeanor was uptown. You know what I mean?
Yes,
her style.
Demeanor.
Yeah.
You can take the girl out to the village.
Oh,
village out of the girl.
I like
totally
that.
different story.
So do you think it's true that uptown girls can actually hook up with a guy like Kasim?
But that's the thing. You're looking at Shiko when she's already been made. You're forgetting where she came from. That's what she resonates with.
Yeah.
That's why she settled. That's why it was easy to be there.
Yeah.
This is the guy who will pick me. This is the guy who will love me. This is the guy who will this. This is the guy who will that.
You trusted him too much so fast.
It's not even about Shiko trusting him. This is where she felt the safest. This is where she felt the most accepted. This is a chick for Mumereri. My friend, where people don't do big things. So alitoka huko, akaenda uni, akachanuliwa, akaanza to jobo, and when guys are not naibo and then they come, they chanuka na we had you like, am I them?
So now, the sex scene, of course, crazy. That was big for many people, and then I'm just thinking. Do you feel like you were objectified by your studio, your directors and your producers or whatever, simply because of how you look? And then maybe they thought, maybe this character, Shiko, because of how June looks like, we can organize for her a sex scene. Do you think you were objectified for real? And do you think but even when you're reading the script, maybe you need to put it out there and say, okay, whether you are for or against the sex scene?
So, I will say this. I was not objectified in any shape, way, or form. I want to ask you a question. How many films, how many series, how many shows can you count on your hand that you have seen a big girl who does not look commercial, not the common type of lead girl that we usually have? Which big girl have you ever seen fall in love and make love? And what's so objectifying about that? To me, it was beauty. You know?
Yeah.
It wasn't something that is fetishized. It wasn't something that was, to objectify. These were two people in love, connecting on a physical level. That's what happens in real life.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it as, oh, now my body is being used. I looked at it like, you know what? I never grew up seeing a representation of a woman who was as big as me. Be sexy, be loved, be the lead, be the one the attention is around of. I grew up with the Queen Latifahs, I grew up with the Moniques, and then I grew
Elliot.
up with these other beautiful ladies from SA, but we didn't still have that, a lot of examples of those women who just owned everything about them and who were just beautiful fully. Because with a woman, it's a package deal. When you're called beautiful, it's not just about your looks.
Yeah.
It's about your identity, your personality, your style, how you move, this and that. And that's what Shiko was. So for me, every element of her life, I needed to live it authentically because it was beautiful.
Do you know how some people usually, like even in Hollywood, even in Nairobi, for example, they say, such and such is a sex symbol. Oh, she's so attractive. Look at what she dressed on the runway. Oh, And then when you watch her movie, somehow guys usually expect like a sex scene. You know what I mean? So, some conversations, especially now when you have like a big timer like you, probably now your future movies, to a regular audience, they'd be like, yeah, is she going to have another scene?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're looking forward
it's an expectation for the audience. That's what I was asking you. My thought process initially was like, maybe they gave her that scene because of how she looks. She has the whole sexy thing going on. So it would only make sense if you give her like this type of scene, because that's going to get the audience excited.
No, it made sense. Again, also as an actor, the directors, the scriptwriters, we sat down and we had a conversation about everything. It made sense in the story. It made sense to tell the story. It's just not random. Hey, let's do it just to excite the audience. It's connection. Remember the first time you see her in that light? What had happened before? Consider that story. Because it's a story. It flows. Funny what happens in your relationships, you guys. Kwanza mkijamiana mkikuwa na manini, and then now you're trying to make up or you're trying to just make things easy. What are those things that people do? Do you get this at two people in a relationship for real and not for play? Who are loving each other, who are growing with each other. So there was nothing about that that was wrong or off. And I don't have an objection to love scenes, to connecting scenes in a script. My objection is maybe the mistreatment or the mishandlement, or it's not done in a professional way where people are not given the right to or the freedom to exercise this or to have boundaries, that kind of thing, when people are being taken advantage of in a horrible way. And if you saw our scenes, they were so tasteful. They're not raunchy. It was love. That was what was happening. It was love. So for myself, no.
No.
Not unless I get what you're trying to say, that there are those spaces that will objectify you and want to throw you this way and you actually have the right to be like, no, for me, that makes sense. For me, this doesn't work. No one can tell you must. No. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that.
So while he's still fangirling over the show, right over here, like I can literally see him on the edge of his seat. He's like, okay.
That's not what I'm doing.
It's all good. I'm going to pull you outside. Like, do you think now the world is actually starting to accept and recognize curvy plus size girls and bring them more into all of these media stuff? The movies, the music videos. Do you think we're starting to get more recognition and people are actually saying, you know what, they actually look beautiful the way they are?
First of all, we've always been beautiful. Let's start there. Number one. I do feel the global village or the world at large is being open to see beauty in different ways, you know?
Yeah.
Just because I'm big and beautiful doesn't cancel out a lady who is, you know, thinner or smaller and beautiful.
Yeah.
I agree.
What we are as women, we're beautiful. That's just how we're made, period, you know? And I feel, yes, there is a space that's accepting this type of beauty, but still it's a growing space and it's being defined because it's like plus size what? Because when I was in the spaces trying to get, you know, different types of TVCs and, you know, that kind of thing, when you're doing the auditions and everything, more and I used to look at the standard of what plus size was. It was the Ashley Grahams. You know, and that's like a perfect plus size. She's literally plus a size.
Yeah.
You know, it's above, just above what would be the norm. And her proportions are okay, especially now with access to, you can alter your body. You can go to, you know, get BBLs or lipo or whatever, and, you know, look a certain type of way, which, shout out to you, it's your prerogative. Yes, I do feel it's been opened up, but I hope it's not for the mere fact that you're a fetish or, you know, you're a thing. You know, you're a thing to get something going. You're a person.
Exactly.
It doesn't really matter how you look. Like, honestly, I'm just like, have you never been around someone you just admire? You don't care about their skin color. You don't care about how they look, their essence, their substance, their character. That's what's the winning thing.
I love it.
Because you can be so fly or so handsome, but you can just have a horrible attitude that people are like, yo.
They can't stand you.
Yeah.
JP?
I feel like Steph is just like asking all the questions I wanted to ask. I don't know what's going on here.
Are there any other roles that you prefer to play other than just, you know, this funny person, you know, like on a dope show, like, of course, Big Girl, Small World?
First of all, I have a very wide acting range. My acting range is really expansive. So I am ready to jump in whatever waters that come by. I'm dramatic. I can do comedy. You know, I'm also a character actor because I do accents. I do a lot of voice work. So my range of acting, my ability is just far wide stretch. So me, I'm for the deep end. Throw me where you want to throw me.
Have you been approached by any international, you know, like gotten some, maybe part of the DMs, even guys just reaching out to be like, we really want to work with you. We like what you did in Kenya, and you should come, you know, try something out. Do you have those, or are you also prospecting to go international?
Gratefully, yes. Gratefully, yes. There are definitely ongoing conversations, but if there's something I believe, the best way and the fastest way to go where you want to go or to reach where you want to reach is slow.
Interesting. Talk about that.
Right? It's just not about jumping in the waters and just pulling every other opportunity. For me, I'm a storyteller. And that's my long-term plan. This is going to be a journey. This is just part of the journey. It's one stop. The journey is so it's vast and it's wide, right? And I believe I should allow myself to spread risk. Meaning, what are my strengths? Yes, I can act, I can tell stories, but I'm also good with PR and marketing and communications. But I'm also amazing with, I have an element of business savvy, you know, so film distribution is something I'm also looking at, and I've gone for a training, but at the same time I'm also doing training for my craft in acting. So it's about building yourself, that in that space it's just not one thing you're doing. You can do a plethora of different things, and it's just not that space you can work in. I can also do consultancies, I can also do this, because here's the thing about being an actor, you need to live life to tell stories. I'm telling human stories to human beings. If you don't know life, then how am I telling a story again?
Exactly. You need to get out there.
You need to get out there and live. And sometimes you have to really discern if it's the time that you need to step in that place. And I'm a grown woman, and I'm mature, and I've lived quite a life, and I have learned through my experiences that slow and steady always wins the race.
So when you say slow and steady, it means also you say no to a couple of roles you've been offered.
And again, for me as an actor, my number one priority is to build my portfolio, because that is what will keep me in the game the longest. It doesn't mean it's every other project. I'm open to work with anyone, any project. if I can feel I fit in. Because if I don't feel it, or I feel I may not do a good service for you, then why am I pushing myself there?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So spreading risk also means you just must not be in everything. Also identify what kind
Things
of
that actually
storyteller
suit you.
are you? Where do you want to go with this?
Which actually brings me to a question which is quite important to me and maybe other people who are listening who would like to understand. I've tried acting in Kenya. I love acting. I've been on a few very silly dumb roles here and there. I think I shared some with Steph. Kev, you probably don't know. But it's been a tough thing, you know, like, you know, the auditions. Sometimes you go and when you're trying up and nobody knows you, the auditions are hell, you know, the long queues. Okay, once you get probably a role and you sound good and they're like, okay, you can do this, and then just the whole process. I don't want to, you know, name different production companies that I've tried to work with, but where can someone start? Assuming it's me, I have this talent, and I really just want to get into the kind of things that you guys are doing. How do I get there? Because I feel like the process is so tough. You know, you go through a lengthy number of auditions. Probably I don't know the right people, or maybe I'm going to the wrong production companies. I don't know. What would you advise me?
Okay, so the number one thing I would say is you have to discern what you want out of this, right? And if you're going there because it's quick money or this and that and that and that, then it becomes a frustrating process because it's not a guarantee you'll be picked. That's number one.
Yeah.
Are you building an actual career? So if you're starting out in the acting business, number one, I would tell you, can you look for someone who can train you and teach you? You know, have you done your research? Have you read about what is acting? Can you go for a class or two to actually see where your strength is, the kind of storyteller that you are, how you can tap into yourself to be able to do this job? That's number one. Number two is you need to also understand that you start from the ground. Mti upandiwa si juu.
Kuanzia chini tukienda juu.
Kuanzia chini ndio waweza kupanda juu.
Ndio.
So I would advise them, go for student films. There's so many schools, institutions rather, creative institutions, where they have students for film, and part of their assignment is you have to do a film, then you have to find actors on set. Throw yourself into a set. Volunteer your time. Get to work in front of the camera and behind the camera. Start whether it's behind the camera. Just get your foot in the door. Or just get into the room. Then you'll figure out the mathematics of what's going on. Because acting is just not one way where I come in front of the camera, I do my thing. There are so many things I had to be trained, I had to be taught on the set of Big Girl Small World. I had to be trained how to move in a way to tell story for television, because my movements were so large. I come from the stage, my voice was carrying the sound. I was like, June, seriously, like you know, that kind of thing. So you have to find a way to be able to fit in and understand where you want to go with it. So me, I'll tell you, start volunteering. If this is something you're passionate about. Because honestly, if you're passionate about something, no matter what it is, you're good at it, and you enjoy doing it, and you build it, I'm telling you, the doors will open. Things will just flow your way, and money will come.
What did you learn most about yourself while on the set of Big Girl Small World?
Oh my God, I learned that I am way more resilient than I thought. I learned I am way more resilient than I thought. My depth. I was really impressed with myself, like, honestly. And not on some arrogant stuff. I was really impressed.
Why did you have to be resilient? Is it the work hours? Or what?
Oh, the work hours were very intense, but also telling a story or acting is so draining. Physically, emotionally, mentally, and you have to be consistent, because if you watch Big Girl Small World, the performance, the edits, the shots, everything is at a consistent quality from start to end, and to maintain that and that momentum from, you know,
I'm
when
sure
you
it's
started,
draining.
it's not a joke. So I really appreciated myself, and I was so surprised, and I was so impressed at how resilient I am, and how wise I've grown.
No, but you're good at what you do. I have to give you your flowers.
Thank you.
Now, what about when all is said and done? What do you want guys to take away from this show, Big Girl Small World?
I want guys to take away just that. I feel, okay, how do I say this? We're all a big person. Let me not say girl, because we're not all girls, but we're all people. You're a big person in your own way, meaning everyone has something. You have a gift, your talent, your strengths. It may not look like, your fellow, your neighbor or whatever, but there's something you have to offer, something you're so good at, something that you thrive in. Look for that thing, despite all these other things that society is like, checks, no, no, don't go with that standard. Trust your instinct, trust yourself. Always look to tap into your strengths. Play your strengths. If you don't play your strengths, then you can't win. Yeah. So I would tell them, tap into themselves and play their strengths.
Right.
Dope.
So after a stressful day with a lot of, kissing and mouthwash and stuff.
At your mouthwash.
Yeah, he's
That was on the third episode. Up on the mouthwash.
Really good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, jokes aside.
How do you come home and just distress? What is your routine so that you don't get mentally stressed? You don't, you just self-love basically.
Wow. So I never needed to, I wasn't exhausted to the point where I needed to de-roll or detach. Again, I have a switch.
Yeah.
I can be this at this time and then just immediately, I'm Gucci,
Yeah.
I'm sour, may have moved on, nini.
Yeah.
I never felt, and that's another thing I felt with this set and the standard of production Giraffe Africa production carries. I don't think anyone needed to feel they need a break, they need a way, they need... It's because from day one, how the process, we were part of it, we walked with these people, especially when we got on board. Now it's, pre-production into production and being brought to speed with what is happening, having access to all these amazing resources, that kind of thing. And our set was so, it was not toxic. I'm telling you, that is one of the most amazing things about working in Giraffe, man. The mental stability that place had.
Yeah. I love that, man. Those are the best places to work.
Yeah.
Yani,
man.
you're tired physically, but you're not bothered.
Yeah.
So,
The chemistry was also legit, man. I can tell. So you guys are friends hanging out even...
Shout out to my family, man. Shout out to the fam,
So let me ask you, Bede, if you go back into radio, what show would you want to host?
Ooh! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Yes! Guys?
Yes! Joe, can't your place.
I will say this. This is what I'm saying. Let it go on record. I am such a child of nostalgia.
Yeah.
So, one of the shows that I grew up listening to, and I'm a diehard, and I still listen to it to date. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
Put it out there, girl.
Sundowner.
Oh.
I said what I said.
That was a big
Get it
one.
from my chest.
Yeah. Proper millennial, huh?
I am a proper millennial. I am a child of nostalgia.
Yeah,
so it would be
Sundowner was sick.
90s, 80s.
Yeah, man.
It will be.
That's what we have on our playlist.
Woo!
Yeah. So you can throw in your requests.
Okay.
Actually,
That's me.
would you want to, host maybe for a couple of minutes?
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yes.
I want to see how that's going to turn out. Yeah, so Sundowner, yeah? So what about okay, fine. Go ahead. Just talk about it. I'll ask you something else later.
No, seriously. Let me tell you this.
Yeah.
I have loved radio. This is my 5th year trying to get into the radio spaces.
In Kenya? You've never been?
I am telling you, I don't. Even this place has my demo tapes. By then,
You're
that after.
Wow. I'm going to check in the files. For real?
For real. I love radio.
Yeah.
When I got this role,
Yeah.
and then it was one of her things is she's a radio presenter. I am telling you, I lost it.
Yeah.
I did not want to leave the studio. In
Yeah.
fact, those were the best places.
I could tell you are a natural. You're just going, oh my God, you call us right now. You were very dope, man. That's why I knew you loved this thing.
I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave. And we were in an actual studio for radio and in a place that I have also wanted to work at.
I think I know where that is.
Yeah, so for me, it was over the moon. And funny story.
Tell me.
Day one of shoot, or day two, the official day two, we're headed to the studio.
Yeah.
And we're told the location. So that location is not the location that I thought, because in my mind, I'm going to the radio. About to go down. Who is so excited and overconfident that they go to another location where other several radio stations are, but that was not the location. It was the other location. And I'm there. I've reached Bana. Hey, I'm on time. Like 35 minutes. No one is there. I'm like, yeah, set the pace. Salutes. Hey, I'm gojaying. It's raining. I'm waiting for guys to fika. Then I'm like, maybe it's raining. They're in traffic. So I get a call from the project manager. And he's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm up. I'm at the lounge banner. Even I'm seeing guys letting stuff, setting up, nini. Even I'm seeing guys of catering, you know, breako. Then she's like, okay, this is what you can do. You can actually go to hair and makeup. So you can, so I'm like, hey, where's hair and makeup? Oh, they're downstairs. They're coming up. Sinilingoja. 15 minutes nashindo. Hey, they're like, where are you? See, I'm at the lounge. I'm at the lounge. No, I'm at the lounge. Are you at the reception of the lounge? She's like, I'm at the lounge. Where are you? I'm like, see, I'm at the lounge.
I'm here.
45 minutes after call time, I realized I am in the wrong location.
That's crazy.
My God.
That sucks.
So it's trying to get transport quickly, so I can be able to cross over to the actual location. Luckily, they hadn't started anything. So, that is what I was
just looking at you like,
I'm actually going to listen to your demo.
What?
I want to listen to your demo. Because you said you were here initially.
I did a morning show, an evening show, and a drive show. So, and
you can fit it anywhere. Consider that an application. And I know Mr. GM is listening. But it's been real, man. It's been real, June.
Mr. GM.
Shout outs to 50 Cows. That's what we call him. That's his nickname. June Njenga has been talking to us about her career. Steph, you want to throw in one?
Yeah, actually, before we close, going down memory lane, you know, you've always loved music and all the sound downers. What is one song that is a complete banger to you till today?
Yeah. So we can hook it up, actually. That's a good one.
Yeah, we can.
Oh my God. Al Green's Simply Beautiful.
That's a good one. Let me see if I have that.
Yeah, I'm an old head. Oh, and before I go, I'd like to shout out Showmax.
Oh, it's okay.
Giraffe Africa Productions and the whole BGSW family. That's the whole Big Girl Small World family. Over the weekend, we actually won international awards.
Wow, congratulations.
I saw that. Festival.
That's amazing.
That's dope.
We won Best Short Series.
Yeah.
We won Best Editing.
Wow.
And of course, I won Best Lead Actor.
Deservedly.
So we
Shout
took,
outs.
in an international platform. We brought it home for Kenya.
Good stuff.
We brought it home for the fans. We brought it home for all you guys. So I'm really proud of these guys. I send so much love to them. Yeah, and our fans, they're the best. They're the best. And also shout out to Showmax. They've also won a couple of awards internationally, also marketing and communication. So I'm proud of those guys. And also giving us a platform to be able to, showcase our content. And then also Dakar Film Festival and all these other film festivals that are happening, that are giving creators a space and actors a space and a chance. I'm really humbled.
That's amazing. So you know what? I have 3 tracks. Tracks. The one you want is not there. So I have For the Good Times, Let's Stay Together, which is a very good one, and Love and Happiness. So you're going to have to pick one of those.
Oh my God.
That's a downer.
No. Give me Alexandra O'Neill.
Yeah.
When he's getting that, you guys, if you want to watch this movie of hers, you can find it on
Showmax, the series. You guys keep calling it a movie.
Yeah, it's actually a series.
I call them like mini movies. You watch one, you're like, okay, that's it for today. Let's regroup.
So you can get the series on Showmax. It's only streaming on Showmax. That is Big Girl Small World. So you can shika with Showmax. So Showmax has a plan with how you can pay. You can just go to their site. It's easily accessible through M-Pesa. And you can be able to watch the show. So it's like, I think the least package is like 3 sok, and you have it for a month.
For a month,
Very affordable. Easy. What one? Me, I just want to listen to this tune. I want to dig deep. I want to see how you taste it.
If you were here tonight.
There you go. So, because you want to do radio at some point,
yes,
and I know Mr. 50 Cows is listening, you will introduce this one right now. Twende kazi.
So I do the link.
Yes, do this link.
Ni gani unaniekea?
If you were here tonight. Yeah.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is After Hours on Spice FM with the gang and your girl, Njenga.